Greetings, ye scallywags. This is Pirate Percy coming at you live once again. I may not be rocking my pirate gear today, but I am rocking my Pirates Creed t-shirt for their 5-year anniversary from 2025. That has to count for something, right? Anyhow, this is an extremely important video I wanted to make for quite a while, and honestly, between work and master classes, my time for the next 5 months, unfortunately, is booked. So I want to make sure I got this one in. Today we're going to be discussing men's footwear, especially men's boots. Now, this is extremely important because comfort is key, especially as a guy. You know, I am all about comfort. Women might want, oh, this is aesthetically pleasing. I like how this looks. I will suffer. I'm not going to suffer. I am going to do what is comfortable. So, talking about boots, my very first pair of boots I got from Just in Time. They were at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair when I purchased these. They also show up to the Great Lakes Medieval Fair. You'll have to check out their website for other places that they attend. But I got these bad boys. I think, if I remember correctly, they sent me back $385, $285. I want to say $285. Stunning pair. These are not the original Conchos. I have specialized all my own stuff. I know what I like and I know what I want. So, these Conchos I got from Tandy Leather. My pirate theme, if you have not noticed already, is Kraken. I'm very picky. I knew what I wanted. These Conchos just spoke to me, the Kraken ones. Yes, this is a little cockeyed. But out of all the Kraken Conchos I saw, those were the ones that spoke to me that I liked. Now, Just in Time, and I think the other one is Boutica's Boutique. I think they sell basically the same stuff. I can't guarantee that 100%, but judging by prices, I would say so. Considering the history that's behind the two, which I'm not going in to talk about at any point for specific reasons, I'm assuming they're the same boots. Anyhow, but you look at these, you can see how they're stiffer. Honestly, you have to wear double layered socks with them, and basically double socks. Otherwise, they hurt your feet, specifically your heel, because this point right here pinches like you would not believe. If you wear single regular socks with them, you will definitely know, and you will feel immediately that they're pinching. And it hurts. I survived my first day at New Jersey wearing them. And when I say New Jersey, keep in mind this is the Columbus, New Jersey one, not the Spartan, New Jersey. So the Columbus, New Jersey one, which happens May. That's where I got these. They serve the purpose. I wore them for a year. I wanted to get better ones because I got tired of them pinching. They do sell other socks there at Just in Time. To be honest, they are majorly hot, and they do not make up for the pinching near at all. They hurt like the dickens still, and they are majorly hot. I wore them one time with these boots just to try them out. I wore them to the Lebanon Valley Mall. Just because of the short distance that I'd be walking and everything else. Definitely not something I'd wear at a regular Renaissance fair because they hurt. Once again, they majorly pitch back here. So after all of that, I wanted to shy away from it. So I started looking around, doing some digging. I noticed some at some other fairs. Honestly, my opinion, just by looking at them, and I could be wrong, they look like basically flip-flop soles sewn to the bottom of leather. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But because of that, I shied away. I wanted something more sturdy, something that was going to handle a lot of wear and tear. If you haven't noticed by my videos now, you should in the future. I like to go to Renaissance fairs and Irish festivals. And I like to go quite a bit, as much as possible. So I need something that's going to be comfortable. I know some vendors personally, and the one that I'm thinking of particularly is Modern Day Viking. I'm really close with those guys. know them very well, known them for years, to the point that, I know families. So, I have that close connection. So somebody I could trust and point to, and they highly recommend it. If I didn't say Modern Viking LLC, beard product company. Anyhow, they recommended their Son of Sailors. Doing some digging, some questions. Can I wear regular socks with them? Do I have to get double layer socks because of my experience with the just-in-time boots? And the response was no. They are very comfortable all the time. So I broke down and I actually saved up. I know you're putting some money out, but if you're going to get good boots, if it's something you're going to wear all the time, save up, spend the money. Like I said, I want to say $285. They may have been $385, but my mind says $285 for my just-in-times. Saved up, went to the Kentucky Renaissance Fair because they do use different sizes. I think they use European sizes. Best thing to do with Son of Sandler especially. I like to do this with anything, especially shoes. I want to be there and try them on in person. So I saved up. I went specifically to the Kentucky Renaissance Fair for these boots last year. Did I go for other reasons? Absolutely. I wanted to check out another Renaissance Fair. I wanted to see Pirates Creed because I figured they'd be going just based off of things that I knew from past experience. It just happened to be their, I want to say, 40th anniversary. It might have been the 20th. I don't remember. What I do remember is I went and I had fun. Long story short, I ended up getting 2 pairs of boots. My colors are black and red. I ended up with these boots. These are not the original contours that I got on the boots, to be honest. Once again, I like to customize my stuff. I put my compass conchos on there and my Krakens again. Both of the conchos I got at Tandy Leather. Because this is what I like. This is what I wanted. You can tell by movement, leather is a whole lot softer. I love these boots. I love these boots. I cannot tell you how many compliments I have gotten on these boots. Once again, my black and my red. These are the regular, if I want to say correctly, the round style. You see the seam going up the front. They do have a vamp round. From what I can tell, basically, you don't have the seam in the front. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look that way. It seems more seamless, and the seam seems to be so maybe a lot closer to the trim. I love these boots. I really do. They're my colors. They have the contours I like on them. Absolutely. Also, keep in mind with the just-in-time boots that I showed first, they came with really, really, really cheap conchos. Really, really cheap. In fact, before I left the fair that day, I had already lost 1, if not 2 of my top conchos for my boots just from taking my straps off. Does that mean that they were cheap? No. Does that mean that they were put on not really tight? Possibly. Keep in mind you're going with a swirling motion. Did they just happen to come off? Maybe. But either way, if you get any just-in-time boots, you're definitely going to want to replace the conchos regardless. And you can find conchos reasonably priced at Tandy Leather. If they don't have the style you look, go looking on eBay, go hopping around the internet. You might find other places as well. The thing about Son of Sandler's, though, is I have not really seen their conchos around other than their store specifically. So keep in mind, and I dug. And I dug, and I dug. When I was looking for my Kraken conchos, I dug. Just trying to find one I liked. Once again, I know what I like when I see it. I can't always describe it. Maybe it's not always out there, but I know what I like. The one thing I will show is for my just-in-time boots. These were not original to these boots. These were something I threw on. But if you see the black tri-scallion there, that's those are my Son and Sailor conchos I placed on there to replace my Kraken actually specifically my Compass conchos. I took them off of this pair and put them on there. So I switched conchos around to what I like. I also got this second pair. simply because not everything I wear goes with the color red. And I have been informed by some of my female friends that you can't wear red with certain colors. Specifically, I have a purple Dracula clothing coat that I have for when it gets cooler. Really stands out, one of a kind purple. But I was told that doesn't go with red. You gotta get something else, yada yada yada. So I got a solid black pair as well from Son of Sandler to go with my other stuff that red won't go with. And then, tear comes down because I love those red boots. I really, really do. But anyhow, once again, you will notice I replaced the conchos. This is just me. These have my Celtic knot, which I got through Son of Sandler when I purchased the boots. I do love those. I know they say be careful with those because the laces like to catch on the edge. So be careful when you take them off. Otherwise, you might spin one off accidentally. You'll see. And they didn't come alternating with Son of Sandler. I just got one set on each one. However, once again, you will notice there's my Kraken button. Gotta have my Kraken. So, once again, you can see how freely it moves. Much more of a leather smell. These both pairs look really nice because I just cleaned them up for the end of the season. So they are standing out, but I do take care of my stuff anyhow, and they do get wiped down normally after a Renfaire visit because let's face it, especially if you've ever been to Maryland, they were covered in dust. I've had dust on stuff and in places that I've never had dust before from a Renaissance fair. It was that bad. Didn't mean I didn't have a fun time, but you could literally see the dust just spinning in the air at the one section, and it was just massive at the Maryland Renaissance Fair this past year. It would have been the Monday of Labor Day. But that's part of Renfaire. That's part of the look and the feel. It's fun. And anywhere you go, you're normally going to get dusty and dirty. Pennsylvania is the only one I know with actually paved walkways and that kind of stuff. Everywhere else is out in the woods, stone, so you're going to get dusty. You're going to get dirty. But yes, these are majorly shined up. The only thing I didn't do was shine up my buttons, but we'll see if I get to that or not. Probably not. But they're ready to go for next year. So I got the black pair to go with anything that doesn't go with red. And also, this is a place I'm going to show the last set of boots I have. I love my 9-button boots. I really love my 9-button boots. I love the look of them. I like the appearance of them, which I know is the same thing. But man, they just really, really stand out. I really love it. However, there are some Renfairs in the summer, especially Celtic Fling at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, which, let's face it, they always pick the hottest weekend of the year to hold it. Every year, it's the hottest weekend. So I was thinking about getting some 4-button boots from Son Sandler. I happen to have these come up, which if you've seen in the video in the past, you know exactly what I'm getting ready to pull out. These are my 4-button boots. I seen these come up for sale from Seth Carney right towards the beginning, right before New Year's, and that's how these look. So if you're looking for the 4-button, that's how they look. They are scuffed up because he used these in his show for 2 years. Sadly, these are one size too big. So once again, I recommend going to Son of Sandler. If you ever have any questions, go to them in person, get your foot measured, see what set of boots, what size of boots you actually need. I take a 44. These are a 45. And for me, I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to pull them tight enough that they would stay, but they're still flopping in the bottom. So if nothing else, we might try them at a Renfaire, especially if I go to a Renfaire. I know who's that, just to introduce myself and say, hey, I'm the guy who bought your boots. But you'll notice the Triskelion, just like the other Son of Sandlers I had, these are the ones he had on them. I did not replace anything. I did not change anything up. I might just leave them in this condition simply because they came from him. I have a letter of authenticity because I think it is a cool item to own. To actually have something from one of the Renfaire performers that they used for multiple years. I think that is neat. I really do. I'm not sold on these as a 4 button simply because I love my 9 buttons. I'd only be using this a few times a year. These run $350 on their website, brand new. If you get some extras, which I thought about getting the Triskelion painted buttons in a red color, those are going to cost an extra $20. Shipping's like another $35, $36 for me anyhow. And yes, I'm going to have that one friend that she already knows. You've already said you're not content with them. Don't get them. I still might get a pair at some point. I'm thinking about going to Kentucky this year. Might just pop in and see what they have. And if they have my size, what I'm looking for, I might just say, oh, it's Kismet, because I'll do this thing from time to time. If I see something I really, really want at a Renfaire, then the question becomes, do I want to spend the money on that? We'll play the game that, oh, we'll just let it go to the end of the day, and if it's still there, it's meant to be, and I'll buy it. If not, then, and it sells, great, then it wasn't meant to be. Then I just got a little bit more money in the bank. It's a game I play. I know I'm not the only one, but you know, you gotta pick and choose. Can't buy everything. Definitely want to support the vendors out there. That's how they make a living. And the more that I live, I'd rather pay cash for everything, and I'd rather buy it from a small business rather than big business. I'd just rather support the little guy. So these are my boots. This is what I got. I'll probably break down at some point and get a pair of these. Honestly, I'm probably only going to be wearing them in the June events, maybe July events, just because I love my 9-button boots and because the heat gets to be a whole lot. The other thing too is beauty of being a pirate. If it's too hot, I'll just show up in flip-flops. No one's going to say anything, but we'll see. So I would tell you, don't really buy the just-in-time boots unless you really, really want to go cheap. Do expect to wear double socks, literally double-layered socks, and expect some pinching at some point. Double-layer socks definitely help with that, make it a whole lot more manageable. I've gone through whole Renfaire days with the double-layer socks, no problem. They do get hot. They really do get hot. And you keep in mind that you're going and wearing these things. If you're going early, you're wearing them in the June months. You're wearing them in the July months. They're up to you. Well, if you get the 9-button socks, they're up to your knees. You have to wear double layer socks. So now they're super hot on top of all that. So it's not just that they're up to your knees and they're hot, but now you got to wear the double socks, which are making it hotter. Once again, I think they're $285 a pair versus $585 a pair, but I'm telling you, it's a world of difference. The moment that I just tried on my Son of Sandlers, man, there was a big difference just trying them on versus what I took off. So, things to think about. Those are my boots review. Highly recommend Son of Sandler anytime. I might get myself a pair of 4 buttons at some point. We will see. I never know what mood I'm in or where I'm going or what I'm doing. I fly by the seat of my pants, but feel free to leave your comments. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Definitely subscribe. More things coming in the future. I'll try to get stuff out in the next coming months. But I definitely want to do this boot review because footwear is extremely important. And for guys, it's all about comfort. Am I right? So, as always, go pillage and go plunder.